Yo, what's up? NightRiderNYC here. So let's get into my motorcycle addiction. It kind of started years ago when I was in working in my office, and the night before I had a dream that I was in a Harley Davidson. This must have been like 2014, I think. And then I really wanted a motorcycle, and they had opened up a dealership down in Lower Manhattan, and I would go there and just look at the bikes, and I was like, I've never thought about owning a motorcycle. This I must have been like around 38 or 39 at the time. I didn't even like bikes, like bicycles. So I decided, let me visit, and then I was so scared to want to buy one, and because I was afraid I was gonna get hurt or something, that I decided not to get the motorcycle, and I ended up getting sports car, a 2-seat Mazda Miata, and it was nice, but it wasn't a motorcycle. And then I said, okay, what are we gonna do now? So then I decided to go and go back to the Harley dealer, and I saw all the bikes, and I was telling the guy, I was like, do you think if I buy this bike I'm gonna end up falling or crashing? He goes, probably. I was like, wow, that's a vote of confidence. So I did that, and I went back and I bought the bike, and I didn't have a driver's license for my motorcycle. I didn't have any experience, never rode a motorcycle. I don't even think I've ever gotten on one other than at the dealer. So it was an interesting experience, because I asked my friend who does ride motorcycles, my friend Tony, to ride it for me, and I followed him in my car. So we got to by where I live, and there was a trail, and not knowing how to use a clutch on a motorcycle, I did on a car though, but not on a motorcycle. I got on that bike and I rode it, and I figured it out really fast. I fell a few times, sometime after that. Went to the school and got my motorcycle's license, and that was that, And then sometime later, I would say 6 months, I found out there was a dealer literally 3 or 4 miles from my house, and I went in there and I saw all the Harleys. I was like, wow, this is amazing, and then the sales guy convinced me to trade mine in, and I did. And then that was my second bike, the low rider. And I was in that was one motorcycle that I had, and I had that one for about a year and maybe 4 years or so. And then I kept buying bikes. I bought two KTM's RC390s. I bought a Ducati Monster S2R 1000. I bought Harley 48, 2017 48, Ducati Panigale 959. I got a Live Wire, Del Mar. I got a Indian FTR 1200, the one I just got. I got a Lowrider S Dyna, Lowrider ST Tobacco Fade. That one's 2024. I got a Lowrider S Softail. That's I think it was 2022. And then I know there's another bike in there. I've had Ducati Super Sport in red. That was a fun little bike. And Fat Boy, the Terminator bike, 2016 Fat Boy. That one I still have. So my current lineup is the Live Wire, the Fat Boy, the Lowrider ST, the Lowrider S Dyna, the Indian, and the Ducati Monster. So that's my lineup right now. So yes, it is an addiction. I cannot walk into a dealer. Brought to you by Superior Crystal. So I cannot walk into a dealer without wanting to buy a motorcycle. But usually I've done my research. I went back to images from 2017, and all I see are like around that time are bikes, motorcycles. And it's funny because every single motorcycle that I saw in there that I had like I've been drooling over, at some point I somehow ended up owning something like that. Like I saw Ducati Monster back in 2017, and now I have one. Every pretty much every style of bike that I've wanted, I've gotten one way or another. I don't know if it was the law of attraction or whatnot, but yeah, I own a lot of motorcycles, and it is an addiction, and it's a very expensive addiction or hobby. And why do I do it? It's an escapism. It keeps me from thinking too hard about anything. When you get on that bike or any bike, it's not like driving. You really have to focus on the road and where you're going, how fast you're going. Yeah, it's really a big deal that you maintain your focus. I went to Milwaukee. I went to Daytona. I'm not sure yet about Sturgis because it is a long trip, and but I definitely might do that. Moto camping I want to do. There's quite a few rides I want to take, trails I want to do. So, and every bike has its purpose. Like the live wire is great for riding at night. Like getting on the bike and you're not waking your neighbors. I can go on trails where they're like animals and animals won't run away, so I get to see them in the wild. I can go pretty much anywhere at nighttime. It's electric, so I just make sure it's charged. My lowrider S, the Dyna is just kind of to rip through the city. My ST is basically to go cross country or wherever. It's my touring bike. The Monster is my daily commuter. I throw a ton of miles on there, and if it gets stolen, if it gets damaged, whatever, I don't really care because it's an old bike. I think I paid like $3,000 for it. So anyway, so that's pretty much my lineup right now, and I definitely want to do more motor content. Motor vlogging content. I do movie content, but motor vlog is definitely something I like doing and talking about. And it gets stuff off my chest. When I'm writing, I get to share stuff with you guys on what I'm working on, whether it be a movie or just how I'm feeling or thinking. So motorcycles have become a form of a drug, an expensive drug, but it's a healthy drug that I can always go to for relief. So I dread the winters for that reason because it's hard to ride in the wintertime. It's very cold. So yeah, future plans, more on this channel for sure. I'm going to be doing some upgrades on the bikes, the FTR. I'm going to be putting a Toke, I think it's called Toke, a Toast exhaust, full exhaust system, and putting a fairing on it, changing the seat, changing the tank covers. It's going to look nice. And I'm not quite happy with the current tank covers, and it sounds like crap. So that's my next project. I'm also doing some work on the lowrider S Dyna, throwing bars on there, refairing. So yeah, throwing some fairings on there, and then a few other things I'm working on. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys on what's happening lately. It's been winter time, it's been Christmas time, it's been Thanksgiving, so I really haven't had a chance to go on here and talk about motor content. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. But spring is coming, motorcycles are coming out, and yeah, it's gonna be a badass year. So looking to hang out with you guys. My boy Kelvin, shout out for you, and we will hang out, and Dio, and whoever else. Thanks guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe. This is just a little quick recap on what's going on. All right, peace.